Simone being introduced here. Second to qualify was Jade Carey, who had the top qualifying score for the women vault early in the week. Ellie Downey will kick it off. Then Simone Tsitsi from China. Yoseo Jung from Korea. Shaolin Olsen, collegiate career in the States. Alexa Moreno, we saw her in Rio. Leah Akimova from Russia, saw her in the team event earlier. And Jade Carey will round it out. So you would expect big things from Simone Biles here, but it was Jade Carey who qualified first. All right, here's Ellie Downey from Great Britain, first to go.
Very nicely done.
So not as difficult of a vault that we will see from both Simone and Jade here in a little bit, but beautiful form in the air.
She had a really rough competition in the qualification. Was very out of character for her, but excellent form. And she actually, this is a nice vault, double twisting Yurchenko. She actually is going to do a much more difficult vault. You see that one right there has a 5.4 maximum score, 15.4. This vault is going to be worth a 16.0. She did it in qualification. She said it was the first time she ever did it in a big meet on the hard ground.
Sister Becky competing this week, the older of the two, the leader of the team, and Great Britain, one of the women's teams to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics at these World Championships.
So because they do two vaults, they obviously take the two scores, add them together, and they come up with the average. This is called a chung. It's what we'll see Simone and Jade do for their first vaults. Oh, and that was really, really good. That might be podium good. The biggest thing she has going against her is her first vault has a much lower start value, but this, look at the form.
Beautiful.
And a great landing position, one hop backwards.
Wow.
This should get a very big number, 15 plus. Amazing. Beautiful form, looking at the ground right there. Just a small little slide back. Her sister, older sister, Becky, says that Ellie's best talent is she's able to switch to competition mode almost instantly.
Look at vault 2.
15.033. I would have gone a little higher. You see that 9.2 execution? I don't know. I'd have been at least 9.3, I think.
So now, Simone Biles gets her chance. 22 world medals overall. Tali Sherbo, 23. Already the most decorated female gymnast at the World Championships. She can become the overall most decorated.
And she absolutely will.
Yeah.
Same vault we just saw. Just got to hit the landing. Pretty good. Was kind of close to that line. If one of those heels, her right heel, was over the line, that'll be an additional 1/10 of a point.
So let's take a look at her landing specifically, making sure she doesn't go over that line.
And I would say no, right?
I would agree.
A little bit more rotation. Was kind of high on the table. But it doesn't matter if you're Simone Biles. You can do a lot of things wrong and still fly high. The thing about her, everybody says she's powerful. It's not just that. Her technique is impeccable.
16 gold medals at the World Championships, one of those on vault, and that was last year. She won it for the first time at Worlds last year.
But obviously she's a perfectionist. So, you know, after that first vault, maybe not necessarily seeing the huge smile that we always do, because she knows she can do better, but great score.
But 15.13.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got it right there. I mean, Ellie was really clean, but Simone's vaulting is just next level. This is called an Aminar. Round up onto the board, 2.5 twist, off. Oh! And Terry, I hate to do this.
Go ahead,
but there is another gold medal for Simone Biles. That's basically unbeatable at this point. Wow.
Wow. I think the best that we have really ever seen her do this vault here in competition.
Oh. So
and there's that smile.
there still is a 10 in gymnastics. It's the execution that starts out of a 10. So I'm saying that this should not be any less than a 9.8 execution score. They're probably going to give it 9.6, 9.7, but
in the qualifying, that same vault, she got a 9.533. This one, much better.
Way better, yeah. I agree, Nastia.
She had the smile before she landed, I think.
She knew.
Just makes it look effortless.
Poor Vitaly Sherbo. You can hold on to that co-title for
15-4,
okay, and that,
6.
I'm sorry, but that is not right.
Execution score.
9.333.
Not right. Not right at all, ladies. I mean, she's going to end up being ranked at the top, but
15.399 is that number now. And go ahead and follow that. GT from China, 16 years old, 8th in the qualifying.
She said qualifying last gives her no pressure whatsoever. Just go out and do the best she can. She is a very bright spot for the Chinese team. Historically have been very weak on vaulting and floor exercise. Those are the two events that she excels.
And just comparing, obviously it's so difficult to go right after Simone, but she just doesn't quite explode off of the horse like Simone does. Doesn't have the power, the rotation, and lower level difficulty as well, but still very impressive. As you mentioned, they haven't always been great the last few years on this event.
I'm sorry, but I would say Simone probably was 3 feet higher in the air than that. Great vault for her, though.
First season on the senior level. They won the all-around at the Asian Junior Championships just a year ago, 2018. That's the number.
So take a look at that execution score, 9.2. I'm not saying by any means was it not clean, because it really was, but it just, to me, you cannot compare that to the vault that we just saw Simone do.
10th of a point.
No, no way.
If that's a 9.2, like I said, Simone's is a 9.7. Don't know what they're thinking. Nice ball, slightly higher maximum scoring potential.
But once again, you know, just not quite the amplitude.
But, you know, really trying to gain a little bit of props back for Team China. They, you know, severely underperformed in the team championships, finishing off the podium. It went, obviously, the U.S., Russia was second, and Italy, shockingly, for a lot of people, not for me, ended up third with just 4 brand new senior gymnasts.
That was one of the moments of the championships when they realized that they were going, or that they had medaled, I should say.
Absolutely.
Simone waits around. She's really become that figure in this sport, hasn't she, for every young gymnast?
She really has, and not just every young gymnast around the world, but even here, her competitors, everyone just stops and stares and watches.
Like right now.
Yeah.
14.7, so 14.650 into third overall.
Yeah, I don't know what they did with Simone's second vault execution score, because we look at that and it's just not right. You know, you're saying that Simone is like the idol of all these young athletes. She should be not just the idol of young gymnasts. She should be the idol of athletes, men and women all over the world.
She is. Yo So Jung, the 17-year-old from Seoul, South Korea. Last year, her first trip to the World Championships, she came in 5th on vault. That's where she qualified.
I believe she's going to do her own vault right here. Super difficult. Handspring double twist. Oh, boy. That's a shame. She has successfully performed that at a major competition, so it does bear her name in the rule book. Really hard vault. We see 1.5s, but we have never seen in competition that double full forwards on the ladies' side of the sport.
Korean gymnastics sensation, 5th in the final last year.
Yeah, just didn't quite get that rotation. Her shoulders needed to come over a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a shame. She comes from a gymnastics family. Her dad, Olympic medalist for South Korea on vaulting as well.
Her mom part of a bronze medal winning team at the Asian Games back in 1994. Hey, back to the numbers. Did they leave room enough for Jade Carey to think she has a chance?
Well, actually, you know, the way they've gone since Simone, the execution scores have been much higher. So if Jade were to really rock the landings, then it's possible. But Jade doesn't have the same level of cleanliness that we see from Simone. Simone flies a little higher. They do the exact same 2 vaults, but Jade is not as clean.
But she did get a 9.3 on both of those vaults in the qualifying round of competition, so it will be interesting.
Very nice comeback there. Double twisting Yatchenko. That's really upsetting because absolutely she had a good shot if she had landed that first vault to be on the podium. This one has a maximum score of 15.4. That first one, I believe, has a value of 16.2, higher than anybody. You know, we're always talking about Simone, Terry, but you also have to remember, at the last World Championship, she unveiled a new vault, the Biles there, which is 4/10 more than what she did here. She doesn't even need to do it to win. That's how much
good she is.
further ahead, yeah. So this was a clean vault, but Simone's was cleaner, right, Nastia?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
There's the number, 14.433, and overall 14.183 into 4th place. Biles, Downey, and Chi Chi from China, the top 3 right now. Remember, Jade Carey, the last of the 8 to go. So it's Shalyn Olsen, the 19-year-old from Vancouver, British Columbia, who will be next. And now a sophomore at the University of Alabama. As you see that number 4, the leader. Simone sits and waits.
She was runner-up to Simone last year on vault, silver medal. She'll do that Chang vault, half turn on. Nope, actually going in a different order. And that is once again where someone like Simone and Jade have the advantage because they're starting 4/10 higher overall.
But a great vault. So just a double full. Seemed to be a little bit high on the horse. Didn't quite get the block she needed to really explode off of the horse.
She is capable of doing the extra half turn. I've seen her competed before. Has said it was really hard getting ready for the trials process to make the Canadian team. She has been doing, in the college gymnastics, they do less difficulty, and she said it was really much harder this time than last Worlds to get back to that elite level.
Canada, by the way, has qualified for the Olympics in Tokyo next year. execution.
You know, again, not to take away from any of these athletes because they are doing great vaults, but I just still cannot get over Simone's execution score. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's mind-blowing. I mean, mind-blowing. Here's the more difficult vault, that Cheng. Half turn onto the board, half turn to the table, laid out front somersault with 1.5 twists. Sometimes she doesn't get the half turn completed onto the table. Maybe a little better there, though.
Little better that landing, and we'll see. I'm sure just a tad bit piped down, a little bit soft knees in the air. So take a look at when she's landing, at her hip position. Right about here, you see really piked, the knees are bent.
1.5 twist off.
And watch the half turn onto the table. Is she all the way facing forward? She's not, and the judges should note that. Going back to these execution scores, once again, that are out of a 10, the judges, I think they really boxed themselves in with Simone Biles getting such a low execution score, especially on her second vault.
Which was pretty much near perfection. I'm not sure I've ever seen her in competition lately do it as well as she did.
Love to see him slow it down and point out where they took. I was just going to
say that. Let's sit down with them and ask what they saw, or if they... Right.
Well, she has scored many times 9-6, 9-7 execution, and
well, again, in the qualifying round, she got a 9.533, and it was so much better here. So I really don't understand.
14.866 and an execution score of 9.2. That mark 14.733 into third place. So right now in podium position.
Well, I hate to say this, but I said that they were differentiating the men extremely well on floor, and they are just putting everybody together on vaulting.
Alexa Moreno made history for Mexico last year at the World Championships. She became the first woman from her country to win a world or Olympic medal, and a third place finish on vault.
Big vault. Oh, too bad. Very powerful vaulter. Laid out Rudy. She took 2 big steps.
And also, I think probably went outside that line, so we'll get deduction for that.
Every time I see her, though, she gets a little bit better on vaulting, has a little more power. It's really great to see.
25 years of age with love.
Yeah, see her step out of the line.
Diversity in sports.
Just crushes that vaulting table to get the height post table.
Got to know her in Rio when she competed there, and then went on to become a part of an anti-bullying campaign in 2017 to support other women. She said she had been the victim of that. Really important work that she has done, helped do.
Good for her.
14.466. So the second one to come.
So in vaulting, you have to do 2 different types of vaults. She went straight forward onto the vaulting table, a handspring. She'll do a quarter turn or half turn onto the table for this. That was great. Really nice.
You know, she's going back to that first vault, hoping that she could just take a few steps back. Qualified in third place, had the potential to be on the podium here.
Second vault is the Sukahara double twist.
Yeah, without question. Pretty good form from the board to the table. Very upright. Just kind of a shimmy on the landing, but like I said, every year a little bit better in my view, a little bit more power. Definitely has a split of her legs. 3/4 of the way through that vault.
And that's who she came in behind on vault last year. Simone Biles and Shalyn Olsen.
Yeah, that's funny. They were all sitting there like that.
Came back from injuries, too, and recent injuries. Head and foot injuries at the Mexican National Championships caused her to miss the Pan Am Games. 14.8 to 14.633, the overall average, into 5th place. Alexa Moreno from Mexico. Down to the final 2. First of the 2, the 22-year-old from Russia, part of that powerful team, Lilia Akimova, qualified 7th on vault.
She'll do the exact same vault that we just saw. Laid out 1.5.
There was good, but again, that landing, huge step back.
But I think they're only going to count that as 1, though. 1 step. Certainly could keep her body a little bit straighter throughout, and Nastia,
and right from the table, take a look at her legs right there. Of course, the judges are sitting on the side, so they don't get to see that angle.
It's always a good point, because we take it for granted because we are watching it from a different angle.
Yeah, they are exactly right on the side, and you see that happen on uneven bars, on vault, and you cannot see it at all from the side. I think they should still try to keep their legs together, though, personally.
14-7. You're shaking your head.
I'm just not going to keep saying to go back to, Simone's vault, but it's just seeing gymnast after gymnast go, and the way that they are scoring their execution just doesn't quite make sense to me.
Well, it bodes well for Jade Carey.
Yeah.
When they gave Simone that low score, I thought everybody else would be way downgraded. Double twist, Sukahara. Big step, couple more after that, and then definitely out of bounds with at least 1 foot.
Second vault for Akimova. The Sukahara with the double twist. That has
Yeah, both of them. So if 1 foot goes over the line, it's a 1/10 of a point. 2 go over the line, it is 3. It looks to me like she did.
Akimova, who was 22nd in the women's all-around. Biles, Downey, Olsen, the top 3 right now. With Jade Carey of the U.S. still to come, 14.033 into 6th place.
So we're learning that potentially we had misread, I guess, Simone's execution score on her second vault.
So we'll take a look. So it might have been that our graphic wasn't correct, and if that's the case,
yes,
then that would be great.
Taking the host broadcaster's pictures or images, so we're at the mercy of those. Down to the final gymnast here on vault, Jade Carey, the 19-year-old from Phoenix, Arizona, who qualified first.
Same 2 vaults as we saw from Simone. The Chung first. Very good.
And that was a great vault. Huge power, just that hop back, and we'll go back to this score, but we are learning that the graphic was wrong on our screen here.
Two-time world silver
We read something like 9.3.
Yep.
Yes.
It appears it's actually a 9.666, which was a lot better.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so we apologize for the ranting and raving and women's judges. I am so very sorry.
But you're looking at the world silver medalist on vault back in 2017, who's trying to take a different route. Still wants to be a part of the American team, but trying to earn a spot at the Olympics through the Apparatus World Cup Series, Jade Carey.
And this is that Aminar vault. She is really a powerful gymnast. Sometimes has a bit of a problem controlling her power at the end of this. She puts this to her feet with a good solid landing. I think she will squeak by Ellie Downey, get on the podium in the second position. Was a very good vault still. Cleaner than a lot of them we've seen her do.
Really seems like she kind of tried to go for the stick, a better landing than she has done.
2.5 twist, and she takes one step. Look, she puts that foot down and then brings it back together. There's a veteran right there. But and that's so critical because, no, actually both feet out of bounds. So she has a minimum 3/10 step, 3/10 for out of bounds. They're going to find a handful of other deductions.
Teammates side by side, but right now it's Simone Biles, Ellie Downey, and Shalyn Olsen, the top three.
And this is her last medal opportunity as she did not qualify for floor.
14.883, the overall number in the second place, right behind Simone Biles. But add another gold to the collection for Simone Biles.
Well deserved.
And well deserved for that. You know, I mean, Ellie did, you know, some great vaults, but like I said over and over again, Jade came to the table 4/10 higher in potential scoring.
And most importantly, she allowed for the kiss. Celebratory kiss. Biles, the gold medal here. Number 23 in terms of medals at the World Championships overall. Jade Carey, the silver medal. And Ellie Downey from Great Britain ends up with the bronze.
Big day for Ellie Downey, too. Without question, coming back after having such a rough qualifying competition. She was so distraught.